We thought Spain would have good food. What we didn't expect was how obsessed we'd become after 2 weeks road tripping this amazing country. From tiny tapas bars to unforgettable local spots, this trip completely changed how we looked at Spanish food. We started in Sevilla. We found this tapas spot right in a touristy area, which normally is a red flag. But honestly, the food was so good we'd recommend it to anyone visiting the city. Okay guys, we're in Sevilla and we are trying some tapas. We just found a spot called Las Golondrinas. It has been here since 1962 and I cannot wait to try the food. We already have the queso, the cheese, and the croquetas, but there's more coming. Known for classic Andalusian tapas, grilled meats, and its loud, authentic atmosphere, this place honestly felt like the perfect first spot in Spain. This is some very good peach juice. Yep. So this is the punta de solomillo, which is pork grilled tenderloin on a piece of bread and then some chips as well. All right, this is squid with green sauce. Then right next to it is just mushrooms. This is also new to the table. And then over here we have aranitas de credo con mojo, which is pork skirt steak with mojo sauce. All right, I am going to start with the squid. It's very easy to cut. It's almost like butter. Looks incredible. Cannot wait to try this. It has the perfect consistency. It's not like gummy, you know, like sometimes when you get frozen seafood, it always has that very chewy kind of texture, but this is nothing like it. This is so tender, perfectly grilled with a little bit of garlic flavor and some herbs. It's just the perfect balance. The squid was well done, a solid highlight, especially alongside everything else we tried in Sevilla. All right, now I'm going to try the lamb croquetas. They come with a sauce. Let's see what that is. It's just ketchup, but a little sweeter than what I'm used to. So let me just cut that open so you can see what is inside. So we have the base, which is almost like a bechamel, and then there's shredded lamb in there. I love croquetas, and the lamb I've never had before, but it's not as strong as you would think, you know, because lamb has a very unique taste to it, but it's very mellow and melts in with that creamy texture of that bechamel base, and then you have that crunchy outside, and paired with the very sweet kind of ketchup, it's the perfect combination. You have to try this. I am now going to try the pork tenderloin. Let's see. So the bread is just basic white bread, you know, nothing fancy about that, but the beef tenderloin has been seared to perfection and it's still very moist and very juicy. I can't even put it to words. It's incredible. You have to try. It's a very basic dish, you know, but even if you do the simplest things the right way, this is how it turns out. All right, I'm now trying the pork skirt steak with the mojo sauce. I'm trying the sauce first to see if it's spicy or anything. I think it's sun-dried tomatoes with a little bit of smoked paprika and some oil. I think that's what it is, or at least that's what it tastes like. So I'm going to give this a try with the pork skirt steak, which is also very nicely seared. All right, let's see. Again, very juicy pork, almost like the tenderloin. Seared to perfection, very juicy. Not I don't know if you know this, or notice it. When you eat pork, sometimes it tastes very metal-like, or as if there's medicine fed to the pork, but that is not the case. It's just very mellow. It blends well. It's just incredible. All right, I'm going to try the mushrooms next. I think they come with aioli. This is aioli. Very good. I like the way they are grilled. They still have some texture. And then the aioli on top just gives it that, you know, oomph, that definition that just makes this dish complete. Almost like these little mushrooms you would get at a German Christmas market, you know, very garlicky. I love garlic. All right, and last but not least, we are trying the cheese. I think it's 2 different kinds, and they come with a, I think, raspberry jam. At least that's what it looks like. Cheese and jam is a very nice combination, and I am going to eat this with a piece of bread that was given to us as a side. It's a very old cheese. You can tell, like, the consistency is not creamy or anything. It's very stiff. But flavor-wise, not as strong as you would expect from a cheese that is a little older. I'm going to try the other piece of cheese. All right. Let me just put some jam on top. Okay, so this one is a little bit stronger in flavor, but it's nothing that you would expect, like I said, from an old cheese. It's rich, but still mellow. After that first spot in Sevilla, things could have easily slowed down, but honestly, this is where the real food journey starts, because in Spain, you don't just eat, you move, you explore, you chase the next plate. So we hit the road and made our way down to Malaga, trading historic streets for sea air and a completely different ride. And of course, the plan didn't change, more tapas. This time we're heading to a spot called La Rubia. No fancy expectations, no overthinking, just classic Spanish food, cold drinks, and seeing if Malaga can compete with what we just had in Sevilla. And, fair warning, after Sevilla set the bar, things are about to get interesting. And if Malaga even gets close, we're in trouble, because at that point it's basically game over for our self-control, and this whole just one more bite idea is already completely out of the window. Okay guys, we are in Malaga today, and we are going to see if the tapas here are any good and if they're better than the ones that we had in Sevilla. We are at this place called La Rubia. Okay, so the first 2 dishes just came. One is the cheese and the other one is the patatas bravas, which is fried potatoes with a delicious creamy sauce. And I've been waiting for this moment. I love patatas bravas, and it's the first portion that we're actually going to eat here in Spain. The croquetas just came, and they come with 4 croquetas and aioli underneath. They look very crunchy, and the aioli already smells very garlicky, and I love that. The chorizo in wine just came, and the smell is incredible. It is a little bit further away from me, but I can still smell the paprika. And here is the shrimp skewer, also with a lot of garlic I can smell, and it looks incredible. I am going to try the croquetas first. Let's see. Wow. Slightly sweet. I don't know actually what it's inside, but the texture is incredible, and then the creamy aioli is on top. I'm still blown away by the croquetas, and now the juicy chicken skewer with french fries has arrived, and you can see how juicy it is. Probably marinated in like paprika and some herbs, and I can smell a little bit of garlic too. This is going to be great. All right, next I'm going to try the shrimp skewer. Ugh. It has a slightly nutty flavor. You can smell and feel the garlic tingling your tongue. There is some sea salt on top, which is perfect. It balances out everything. And then there's this, like, the texture is incredible too. It's kind of stiff, but also creamy, and it's grilled to perfection. 10 out of 10. Next, I'm going to try the cheese. This one doesn't come with any kind of jam. It's just the plain cheese. Again, it's an old cheese like the one that we had in Sevilla. It's not strong either. Like, the consistency is almost like an old cheddar, if you will. But the aroma and the texture blends perfectly again. This is some great cheese. I have to ask what type it is because it's actually really good. All right, guys, next I'm going to try the patatas bravas. All right, let's see. Yep. So they're very crunchy on the outside, and then inside it's so soft it's almost like mashed potatoes. And then comes this mayonnaise-like sauce on top, and that hint of spicy paprika powder on top. So you have the creaminess, you have crunchiness, you have all sorts of texture, and then flavor-wise, it's just a bit spicy, but also quite mellow because of the mayonnaise, and potatoes itself are not very flavorful, you know, so this whole dish is just a blend of everything. Alrighty, I am going to try the chorizo next. Let's see. Wow, this sausage is so well seasoned. It has a lot of paprika, but not too much. And then cooked in this white wine just adds a little acidity. This is incredible, and I don't even like sausages that much, but this is so good. I would order it again. Okay, now I am going to try the chicken. This looks so good. Just wow. It's so juicy and so crunchy, almost like it's got fried from the outside. And inside you have this juicy, incredible tasting chicken. I taste paprika, I taste thyme maybe, and garlic. This is so good. There's nothing on this table that doesn't taste incredible. Okay, the meatballs, the albondigas, have arrived. They come in an almond sauce. Wow, they're all very soft and juicy, as you can tell. Let's see what they taste like. They're so soft, they're falling apart. The meat is very fine, but still has a lot of texture. I think it's beef, mostly. Maybe like 70% beef and then 30 pork. That's what I'm thinking. And then you have this creamy almond sauce that I wouldn't necessarily think is almond, but it's very rich, very creamy, and the perfect balance to the very fluffy and soft meatballs. It comes with French fries, but personally, I don't need that. The meatballs itself are so good. After finishing up at La Rubia, there was really only one thing left to do: dessert. Because you can't spend a day in Malaga and just skip ice cream. That would basically be illegal. So we headed straight for gelato and ended up at Gianduia, a small spot that doesn't try too hard but somehow still gets everything right. My husband went for the famous Malaga ice cream, the one actually invented here in the city, with raisins and rum. Very traditional, very you're in Spain now kind of a choice. I went a completely different direction because raisins and rum are not exactly my idea of a dessert happiness. So let's just say I built my own safer combination instead. And that's kind of the thing about Malaga. Even the simplest spot, even something as small as an ice cream, turns into a moment you actually remember. Okay, we just finished the tapas, which were extraordinary. They were so good. Definitely recommend check out the info box if you want to go there as well. And now we're trying the Gianduia Gelatería, which is ice cream. I ordered the dulce de leche and lemon pie. Let's give it a try. The lemon pie has some lemon pie pieces in there, and it smells so extremely good, like lemon, and also the flavor is incredible. And now I'm trying my second flavor, which is dulce de leche. Almost like you eat it straight out of a jar, like this actual spread that you would put on bread or whatever. It's very rich, maybe a little too rich for me, but with the lemon pie, I think it's a good combination. After wrapping up Malaga, it was time to hit the road again because this trip was never about staying in one place for too long. It's about chasing the next city, the next street, the next bite. So we packed up and headed inland towards Valencia, where everything feels a bit different again. The pace, the light, the energy. In Valencia felt like the point where the whole journey was about to level up again. Okay guys, today we are in Valencia, in the heart of Valencia. We are going to try the famous paella, which is a dish that was created here in this region. And we found a spot called Juliana, and our starters have just arrived. One, the croquetas, and one is the tuna sashimi. Let's give it a try. I'm starting with the croquetas. They already look very crunchy, and as I am poking in, I can tell it's very crunchy. It comes with a caramelized onion jam underneath. Look at that. You can see the mushrooms, the jamon, and then you have this little farce kind of thing. All right, let's dig in. I think they fry it in panko. That's what gives it that significant crunch. And what I like most about these croquetas is that you can actually taste the different fillings. Like you can taste the jamon, you can feel the jamon. It's not everything, it's just one piece. And then this caramelized onion jam is the perfect combination. And every croqueta we have tried so far is a banger, and this one is too. And now I'm going to try my starter, which is the tuna sashimi. It comes with sprouts, sun-dried tomatoes, capers that I'm not a big fan of, so I'm not going to eat them, and then some kind of vinaigrette and croutons. All right, this looks phenomenal. Let's give it a try. So it has soy sauce in it, a little acidity, maybe lime or lemon, and then in combination with the sprouts and the fried onions that are also on top that I did not mention before, it's great. Also, the tuna has a very good quality. It's super fresh, super delicious. So the starter was a straight 10 out of 10, and our waitress Alexandra just brought us the plates and the spoons for the Valencian paella, and I cannot wait. All right guys, the main dish has arrived. The paella is here. So obviously it's a rice dish, so here's the rice, then we have some rosemary, vegetables, this is beans, and then what is this? This is garlic. No, this is also beans, white beans. And then we have meat, which I believe is either chicken or rabbit, which is also something that is very common here. So let's give it a try. All right, and some meat as well. Okay, let's see how it tastes. Let's see. Try to get a piece of everything and also some of that meat. All right. So the rice is very al dente because it's cooked in broth. And then you have the vegetables that are just giving a little bit of texture. And the meat gives that dish the definition it needs. It's a blend of so many great textures and flavors. It's incredible. So good. I think the only thing that could be a bit better is some seafood, but my husband doesn't like seafood, so we went with that, but that is a great option. Okay, the paella was a solid 8 out of 10, and now we are enjoying our dessert. We had to pick between cheesecake, chocolate cake, and some fruit, and we picked the pineapple. After this hefty main dish, we decided to just go with some fruit because it's a little more refreshing and not so heavy. This is incredibly sweet and so juicy. This is by far one of the best pineapples I've ever had. See, it's so juicy, I even choked. We are now trying another Valencian specialty, which is horchata. Horchata, not the one that you probably know from Mexico, which is a rice and cinnamon drink. This is made of almonds, and then it comes with this, which is a fartón. They actually going to dip that into the horchata, but I'm going to try that separately. So it's 3 different kinds of cartón, and I'm going to try each one of them, starting with this one. It's with vanilla custard. So I'm pretty sure this one is chocolate. Yep. And now the last one. Okay, this is a plain one without anything. Okay, so the pastry is a little meh, especially the plain one, but if you dip it into the horchata or drink it with it, it's pretty amazing because the horchata adds a lot of sweetness and also that almond flavor, which is very unique to that drink. So overall, it's quite delicious. After leaving Valencia, it was time for another shift in pace because every city in Spain seems to come with its own personality. This time the road led us to Barcelona, a place we had been looking forward to from the beginning. Not just for landmarks like the Sagrada Familia, but also for the atmosphere everyone kept talking about. Open, welcoming, and full of life. And honestly, that's exactly what we felt as soon as we arrived, not just here, but across Spain in general. Okay guys, we are in Barcelona and we found this really cute Mexican bakery called Casa, Dulce, and I have ordered a agua fresca de Jamaica, which is hibiscus tea, and then tres leches cake. Ooh, this is so juicy. Look at that. So the cake is super moist, as you can tell, and then there's some kind of whipped cream on top. And now the taste test. Holy smokes. This is so moist, so sweet, so fluffy. It's everything. It's so good. And now I'm trying the agua fresca de Jamaica. Cheers. Very refreshing, not overly sweet. Perfect for summer. This is great. After that tres leches cake moment in Barcelona, you'd think we'd slow down a bit, but no chance, because Spain has this way of turning every meal into a chain reaction, and ours had clearly already locked in. Churros rellenos, again and again, the giant cream-filled kind we somehow kept finding, so it only made sense to continue the story at La Tacita de Plata, where the next round was waiting. At this point, we weren't really choosing dessert anymore, dessert was choosing us, and honestly, we had no complaints about it. Okay, for our last and final stop, we are in Madrid, and you cannot leave Spain without eating churros, and we decided to get some churros rellenos filled with crema. So they're these giant churros. Look at that. They are gigantic. Okay, let's have a bite. It's very crunchy outside, very crispy, because it's fried dough. And then you have this very light and creamy vanilla custard. It's a 10 out of 10. Whoa. Who am I kidding? If you have made it this far, first I want to say thank you for watching the video, and then also make sure to give this a like, comment your favorite spot, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share the video. For our last and final stop, we decided to follow a recommendation by my best friend Fabi. He said, you have to try empanadas by Malvon, and that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's have a look. Look at these beauties. Okay, so I'm only gonna try one because we already had a lot of food, and I am going with asado especial. A big shout out to my best friend for recommending this place. It was really delicious. So the dough is extremely flaky, you can see that, and the filling is very juicy. It's, I think, beef with bell pepper. Let me try that filling again. I think there's also onion in there. So if I have to rate this, it's a pretty good recommendation. I don't want to disappoint, but it's a 10. Everything is a 10, I think, here.